Welcome, coaches. Good morning. This is Monday morning. Randy Brown with you. This is Elite Mentoring, College Coach Now. I thought, being that we haven't spent a lot of time on our coaching profile, we've had a lot of new coaches join our community, that I would spend some time breaking that down. It's, I think, a very essential piece to your roadmap, to your game plan, in terms of how you're going to go about this journey of yours. And so, filling it out is the first step, and I wanted to kind of break it down, if we could, step by step, in a series of probably three segments, this being the first segment. So, again, welcome to our program. I think you'll learn a lot about where you're at, and I think the biggest thing right now is to motivate you. I think sometimes we've, for some coaches, I've noticed, we've joined the community. We're invested into it with our resources, with our time, with our commitment. But then we wait for programs. We might watch a program. We might not be able to because of our schedule. We have an intention to watch the recording. We don't really follow through with that. And I just don't see how you can continue to be motivated and make daily progress. And the key is daily progress. So that's what I want to accomplish with our profile, is to get you back to the basics, the fundamentals of what you need to be doing on a daily basis to accomplish your goal. And then the other part, of course, is to have a goal, to know where you're going. And as you know, one of my favorite quotes is, if you don't know where you're going, you'll get there every time. And we're not about that. We're about knowing where we're going and breaking that into smaller pieces that'll help us gain small term success, small term victories, and work those into bigger pieces and bigger pieces. And when you put everything together, I guess a great analogy would be a basketball game. The end result is for you to win the game, but think of all the pieces that you've got to, uh, from planning to scouting to breaking down tape to practice, uh, to everything it's going to take for you to win that game. And I think we're talking about the same thing. I want to move on to a picture that's one of my favorites. Uh, this right here, to me, symbolizes a season. And if you're an assistant coach, I would share this with your head coach. I think this is so crucial, because we're all impatient. We all want to get to the 6 month level in the second week of practice, and it doesn't work that way. So today down there is where you've started your season, or another way to look at it is, this is where I've started my journey to becoming a college coach. And you can see it's a long and winding road, and it's going to take a lot of perseverance, a lot of effort, a lot of vision, a lot of motivation. And when you're at today and you look up to where you're going to be 9 months from now, somewhere in March, it's more like 7 months at the end of your season. Where do you want to be? And you're going to have setbacks and you're going to have a lot of victories. Well, let's use the analogy of the next 12 months of your pursuit to become a college coach or work your way up within the profession, for those of you that are already currently college coaches. It's going to be a long and winding road. Now, understand, if you don't start today, then you sit down there in the valley. And not until you start and take that first step are you going to move and really understand that there's any progress behind your journey. I love this picture. I would post it on your desktop. I would print it. I would put it at different places where you're going to see it, in your car, in your daily planner, because I think this is so true. And unless you have a plan on how you're going to get from today to a year from today, then I think you're really, really selling yourself short, and you're minimizing your opportunities to make this happen. So, love the picture, and I think it fits in really perfectly with what we're going to talk about in terms of breaking down our coaching profile. Now, for some of you, it's been a while. I mean, we've had some of you in the program for 3 and 4 years. So, what you'll need to do is go back to your original coaching profile. If you can't find it, there's a chance that I have it, but probably what you're going to want to do if that much time has elapsed is to rewrite your profile. So, unless you've joined the program within 6 to 9 months, I would say you need to go find your original profile and probably rewrite it. So, anybody that joins our program gets a template, coaching profile, elite mentoring, and I ask you to return it to me. So, simply, you're going to put your name, your current coaching position, address, email, and cell phone. I take this information and I obviously use it from my own knowledge, but I take this information and add it to our uh, CCN Elite Mentoring contact list, which you all have a link to. Goes to the Coach RB website, but it has a hidden page. All of our information is up on my website, but it's hidden from anybody else that would access the site because of the links that I send you. But in your Elite Mentoring manual, it'll have a link to the coach's contact list. I take this information, and if you're a new member, I log you into our contact list. And the reason we do that is so that all of your fellow members can contact you if they want to take a look at who the new members are, where they're from. You may know one of the new members. They may be in the same geographical area. You may have something in common with them. So it's really good information for you and for the rest of the community. So that's the first thing I always have coaches fill out. Then, number two, you need to take some time when you fill out the second question of the profile. What is your ultimate goal in college coaching? So we're not putting a time parameter on this. We're just saying, as you look back on your coaching career, when you're done coaching, you had your eye on one particular goal, one particular position. And it could be an NBA bench assistant, could be an NBA film coordinator, video coordinator. It could be a Division III full-time assistant and instructor in the classroom. It could be a junior college assistant or head coach, Division I assistant coach, Division II graduate assistant leading into a coaching position at Division II, a Division I head coach, and that's probably the most common response amongst all the guys I've had a chance to work with in this community. And I think it's an ultimate goal. I think it's a great ultimate goal, and you should not shy away from putting down something huge. At the age of 20, I decided I wanted to be a college coach, a full-time college assistant. I was just starting out, and I was a high school JV coach. These were my three goals: full-time college assistant, NCAA Division I head coach, and to coach in the Final Four. Now, as I look back, just as I'm telling you that at some point you're going to, as I look back, I was extremely, extremely blessed and fortunate to, first of all, get into the profession at the collegiate level as a graduate assistant. And my experience was at the University of Arizona. So I got my foot in the door, and my next job at the university, at Drake University, after my graduate assistantship at Arizona, was a full-time assistant position. So in my third year of college coaching, I reached my first goal. This was in 1988. And excuse me, this in 1986. And it wasn't until 9 years later, through 5 different jobs, that I became the head basketball coach, Division One, at Stetson University in DeLand, Florida. 3 years later, excuse me, it'd be 4.5 years later, at Iowa State University, we got to the Elite Eight. We came within a play or two of playing in the 2000 Final Four, with probably a chance to win the national championship. Now, I tell you this not to gloat, but when I was 20 years old, that's what I set my sights on. Now, I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have a coaching profile. There wasn't a website that I could access. I didn't have a personal coach who had been there at the level and could personally mentor me. But what I did is I wrote letters, I asked questions, I worked camps, and I realized how important it was uh, very quickly to establish relationships. Fortunately, I established relationships with the right guys, the assistant coaches at the University of Iowa, and Lute Olson when he was at the University of Iowa, because in 1983, those guys took off and went to Arizona. So I share that story with you because I was in the exact same position that you're in, most of you that are listening to this. So when I say it can be done and you can do it, I want you to think about two things. Number one, yes, you can. And I'm living proof, and I could give you hundreds of other stories. But secondly, and most importantly, you've got to be highly motivated on your own, using me and the community as support and motivation. But you alone have to have a plan on how you're going to reach your goal. It's not just going to happen. You would become no different than any other young coach in America that says they want to be a college coach. Being a part of this program is awesome. And I love working with each and every one of my coaches, but that in itself is not going to do anything for you. What are your short term steps? What are your medium term steps? What are your long term goals? And do you have organized every day? Do you have daily tasks that are building blocks that are going to lead you to your eventual goal? So, having said all that, back to two. What is your ultimate goal in college coaching? And I think you really, really need to think about this. Don't sell yourself short. And the answer is simply writing down your answer. Division One head coach, NAI full-time assistant coach, junior college assistant, like I said, NBA head coach. You want to be the commissioner of the NBA. You want to be a D League assistant coach. So this is all up to you. All right, number 3 is our last question for this program in segment 1. Third question is, future college coaches, those of you who had not made your entry level step into the profession, what are you currently doing to enhance your opportunity to be a college coach? Now, that is a very simple and straightforward question. And that would elicit a quick and immediate answer. If you hesitate when I ask that question, then I would challenge you in terms of what are you doing to enhance your position? What daily and weekly tasks do you have in your day planner? Okay, are you consistently fulfilling those tasks? So again, future college coaches, what are you currently doing to enhance your opportunity to be a college coach? If the answer is a pause or an I don't know or nothing, then you seriously have to take a look in the mirror at how badly you want to do this. And I'd be the first one to tell you, if your heart's not in it, you 100% are not committed to this, then I would have you switch gears and go do something else. Why? Because it's extremely, extremely, extremely competitive to get your foot in the door. And only those that are highly motivated and 100% committed and know people who can help you get that first entry level job are the keys to your success. So, are you doing that? I mean, it's a pretty straightforward deal, guys. So, think about it honestly. Be honest with yourself. Look in the mirror. Answer that question. And then, next, for you current college coaches, and the warning here to me that I see at times is when we do get our entry level position as a graduate assistant, maybe work up into an assistant position, maybe become a head coach. We just stop. We all of a sudden get comfortable. You should always be uncomfortable. You should always be thinking about what can I do today? You should be on edge about making progress. If you get comfortable, chances are you're not moving forward. Current college coaches, what are you doing to enhance your chances to better yourself in the profession? Now, that's twofold. Number one, what are you doing to become a better coach where you're at right now with the opportunity that you have? And I'm just going to tell you the day, and this could happen on a daily basis, that you begin to moan and complain about how long the hours are, about not having the position you want to have, not being included in staff meetings, on and on and on. The second you start to do that, I want you to stop and realize how many thousands of guys would love to be in your seat wherever you're coaching, because there would be a long, long line waiting to take your spot. And this is what you've worked for. There's no guarantees on you being in the staff meeting, on getting team sweats and shoes. Nobody said that. It's all about opportunity. It's not about any of the other stuff. The second part of that is, what are you doing to build your brand such that this spring, if timing is right for you to make a move, you're a graduate assistant, you're finishing up, you're going to make that move into an assistant position. What are you doing on a daily basis to enhance your brand, okay, and your positioning for the next job? So, two very distinct groups as we have in elite mentoring. Those of you who are not quite at the collegiate level, those of you that are. So, this is going to be about a 20-minute program. We're 18 minutes into it. Again, we're attacking your coaching profile. You new guys have currently written it. Those of you that have been members for a while, you need to revisit it. You need to go pull it up and find it, redo, because goal setting is a continuous evolving process. Redo some of the parts that need revision, or completely write it over from start to finish. And the template is on our website. You just go to the template. It's in your manual. So I'm asking each of you in segment one to put down your current information, your ultimate position in coaching, and the question about what are you doing today? Really, what are you doing on a daily basis? Because if not, if you're stagnant, if you're comfortable, if you're complacent, you're going to get stuck. And this is too competitive a profession to get stuck and comfortable. Because almost everybody else is uncomfortable, moving very intensely through their day, organized and moving ahead. So you don't want to be left behind. So the other thing I shared with you is the journey from where you are today to 12 months from now. Hopefully that meant something to you. Hopefully you can print that out, share it with your boss, share it with your fellow assistants, use it as personal motivation. So this is segment one. I'm going to wrap up segment one. I will really want, if you're not plugged in and not used to watching our programs on a very consistent 100% basis, watch this program. This is going to be huge for moving you forward. If you're in a rut or if you're complacent, moving you forward. So, and good for everybody, no matter where you're at. So this wraps up segment one. Thanks for your time. Let's get it done. And I'm really excited about moving through the rest of the profile because I'm going to spend a real good share of time working with you on that. All right, guys. Thanks. And until segment two, we will see you.